Hello and welcome to the Keiwear Show, where we talk about life, love, and the pursuit of happiness. I'm your host, Keisha Mayo, and today we have the honor of speaking with a visionary leader who is transforming the landscape of healthcare and technology. Tanadrian Fleming is a tech entrepreneur, inventor, and innovator dedicated to improving safety and care for at-risk populations. Thank you for coming on the show this morning, Ms. Fleming. I appreciate you accepting the invitation. And please introduce yourself to my viewers.
Hi, everybody, and good morning. Happy Tuesday. My name is Tanadrian Fleming. I am the CEO and inventor, the patent inventor of Blackbird Smart Innovations, and I'm honored to be here.
Oh, thank you so much. And I thank Liz Black for connecting us. When she mentioned it to me, I said, wow, that's awesome. The great things that you are doing. But what first sparked your passion for serving at-risk populations?
Well, I started out. I have a master's degree in clinical psychology, and I have a master's degree in public administration with a concentration of health service management. I have been a business owner. I've owned home care agencies for almost 25 years. So
Mm,
I served multiple populations. But right now, I'm currently serving individuals with traumatic brain injury. And that's a population that a lot of people that go unnoticed. There aren't a lot of statistics on, traumatic brain injury individuals. There
mhm,
is like focus on football players or I want to say military people,
mhm,
but not really individuals who have strokes or car accidents. So, because you can't really see TBI. So, I
mhm,
wanted to provide a life saving solution for individuals so they can continue to improve the quality of life after the injury, also giving them inclusion so they don't have to announce to everyone that I have a
mhm.
TBI. So, this technology will help be able to communicate their specific needs with
Mhm.
care, but also with confidence.
Awesome. That's beautiful. And I read where you were a part of the New York City Department of Corrections at one time
Yes,
as well.
yes.
And I'm a retired correction officer. Um,
Yay!
my sister in blue.
Yes, absolutely.
But how did your experience as a correction officer shape your perspective on care and safety?
Well, as a law enforcement, we have to correct and control behaviors. So I
Mhm,
realized at that particular time I had an empathy that was not needed for the Department of Corrections. I didn't
mhm,
know how to shake the empathy and the care I had for the individuals behind the wall. I
mhm,
realized that that may not be the appropriate life path for me. So
mhm,
I went back to school at that particular time, but as you know, we were making, very good money at that particular time, and I had a GED. So
mhm.
I had to now go back to school. A lot of things changed in my life. When God wants to move you, he disrupts your world, right? He changes your world in ways that you really don't want to at that particular time. So I
Right.
decided to go back and get my degree, and I continue on from a GED to a master's for bachelor's degree and two master's degree after that. And I went straight through. And then
Mhm.
I decided to now use that empathy to now care for our vulnerable individuals.
That's beautiful. So tell us, we can start talking about the Blackbird smart wristband. Tell us about it and what makes it unique.
So right now I came out the door with four products on the market. I didn't come out with one.
Hmm.
Our first product that we have is a patent approved. I got it approved.
Hmm.
QR code embedded in a smart technology. We have the first ever. I built, designed, and developed Blackbird around COVID when QR codes was so, I wouldn't say so prevalent. Everybody loved these QR code for cashless reasons. So I
Hmm.
say, you know what? How can I support our vulnerable individuals through this QR code mechanism? So
Hmm.
I now put it in a smart technology, which will connect it to a mobile application where all the critical care data is.
Hmm.
Anything from the medication you took, the medication you didn't take, the multi-language support, your doctor's information. You can upload data, anything that you want the public, but also the care team fire department, police department, EMT, as well as your medical care team to know who you are in the event of the crisis. So I created the first one, and that was the Bluetooth version. And but
Mhm.
I realized that version is highly competitive with what's on the market. So that was also one that paused me. Secondly, you need a phone to carry with it. Like I said, I work with TBI population, and
Mhm.
to carry both devices would be a deterrent. So I created a second one. I created one that has a button. You know, the one that everybody know the pendant with the button. I
Yeah.
created that symbolic one because I didn't understand why everybody was interested in the button around the neck. Because if you're falling out, you're not grabbing your wrist, you're grabbing your
Right.
chest.
Mhm.
So I now have the first ever watch that is a pendant and a watch. But we also have a contract with T-Mobile, which is amazing. So now it's an
Amazing.
actual, exactly, it's an actual phone. So
Mhm.
any event I'm in crisis and I'm unable to articulate, I can say, call my husband. So
Mhm.
now my husband now will get a call on FaceTime. He can now speak to the first responders when I'm unable to and talk to them and guide them and also be en route to the hospital. As we see so many tragic cases, so many people go missing, as you can see, is now a chronic problem. And when
Mhm.
they find them, they can locate them. Let's just say they can locate them, what's on the market, but they don't
Mhm.
know who they are. They use
Right.
social media is not for missing people. It can help, but
You
we
can.
need a better solution.
Right.
So that's why I create the second one. And then we have, I said, for individuals who have smartwatches, they're not going to want to buy another smartwatch. So I created a medical ID sleeve with with the QR code that you can just slide on your watch. Now you have the protection again of
Mhm.
your critical care data being used and being accessed in the event of the crisis. And lastly, I
Mhm.
created the first ever patent pending button. So I
Mhm.
took the concept of the Apple tag and I
Mhm.
created a button. This button now can be sewn off and on. And now we're putting a button chip inside of a teddy bear. And
Mhm.
that teddy bear now can fit on book bags. So our little small ones with autism who elope so frequently. So those are the four products that we have on the market right so far.
That's awesome. And you're living up to that statement we say that there is life after corrections, right?
There is life after corruption.
Because you do
Absolutely.
it. Well, what has been the response that you've been given from
Ah,
the healthcare community so far?
amazing. It's so amazing that I created what they call Blackbird TV. So when I
Mhm.
do a lot of presentations or pop-ups, I have interviewees like Liz and other people to now come in and interview the public. I can
Mhm.
say my product is needed. I can say my product is amazing, but I
Mhm.
want authentic responses
Mhm.
from individuals who live every day in worry and concern of a loved one, whether it's a child with disabilities and autism, or it's a senior who goes missing or who live alone, who may be a fall risk and need this extra protection, or the police department. We've interviewed police personnel who say we need this because to reduce use of forces for individuals who don't understand our sensitive population. So
Mhm.
I can say it, but I want the actual people to say
Right.
it.
And what challenges have you faced, building in both the healthcare and technology spaces?
First, getting it Medicaid approved. Medicaid is the entry point to all insurance payments, whether it's managed care or Medicare, you got to go through Medicaid. So when I wrote the technology, I wanted to save lives. That's our catchphrase, saving lives, one
Mhm.
risk at a time. So
Mhm.
I wanted to make sure that is the focus, the theme of Blackbird Smart Innovations. So I didn't want to create a financial hardship to anyone. So I made sure that it was Medicaid reimbursable, it was a medical necessity, and I went an extra step. And now I'm getting FDA approval for my watches. So they will be now being able to be sold in pharmacies and DMEs, what they call durable medical equipment, where you can now buy Pampers and wheelchairs in my smartwatch.
Wow, you're doing some great things. And,
Right? I'm excited.
uh-huh. And what does success look like for the people using your device?
Safety, protection, inclusion, We're working on now getting into JFK. You know, JFK has a new project and they're giving first preference to minority business owners. So I
Mm-hmm.
went out there and I pitched and they were shocked. Why? Because if you look at the list that they had, it was all wellness brands. It was health brands, it was t-shirts, apparels, but they didn't have no technology. So I said, how can I bring this solution? Because I have TBI individuals who want to travel. They want to travel like they did before the injury, but they can't. They're afraid of traveling because they're afraid of telling everybody that I have this TBI. So I have a client now, she has aphasia. She's
Mm-hmm.
now using my watch because now instead of her walking around with a card saying I have aphasia, talk to me slow, now any event the agent can just tap the QR code. It goes into a protective page only the community would be able to see, and it'll tell her she has aphasia, talk slow. Here is her loved one. Here is the contact information. So she don't have to have a behavioral outburst because they don't understand her or misunderstand or any type of miscommunication.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I feel I'm trying my best to get into the transit system because that would help people with vulnerabilities tremendously.
Right. And now how would you ensure your technology stays user friendly for, the population that's not tech savvy? How would they be able to, how do you stay user friendly with your technology?
That's the challenge because sometimes we're connecting it with, like, right now we connected it with Uber Health. So now
Mm-hmm.
you're able to connect Uber Health with the app, and I want to add Ring. So I said, let me be careful on not making it so technology, like you said, no, technology based. It can be user friendly. So the way the process is, we have Blackbird technicians that goes out
Mm-hmm.
that would allow you to show you how to use it, because it's very easy. Show you how to use the features, how to program everything, how to make it person centered, because each watch in the mobile app connection is, I want to say, individualized and personalized to you.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that we are monitoring closely is that we have the first responder codes.
Mm-hmm.
So, any event of a crisis, first responders now have their own protective codes that they can go inside of the mobile application, where normally you can't go inside a phone, you can't go inside a smartwatch normally to see any of your data. Only Apple and Android can, I mean, Microsoft or Android can.
Mm-hmm.
So, with this one, they can go inside and see. So, that is our challenge. But we have technology specialists. We
Mm-hmm.
also have QR codes with all of the instructional. It shows you step by step by step by step. I already done so much work initially before we even continued, before we even rolled out on
Mm-hmm.
how to work our technology.
Wow. And I know you're also the CEO of Guided Steps New York Inc.
Yes.
How does that work connect to your tech innovation?
Because I work with my agency supports seniors
Mhm,
who transitioning out of nursing homes, so they don't have to be in an institutionalized care. They
mhm,
can be in their own home with supportive services. But when they're at home, a lot of them live by themselves. They don't have family members, or maybe have family members close. So this helps them because they may be a fall risk. If
mhm,
they fall, then it would trigger anyone in their protective community, or and as well as the police department, to do a wellness check.
mhm,
Now, my TBI individuals, there's certain stories. Like, we had one recently. We had one so chronically severe that he would forget. He would remember to go get his favorite beer from the corner store, but forget to put on clothes. So he would go outside butt naked to go outside to go to the store. But thankfully, his community is very, very important to his overall care and protection. So that's why I made sure in the app it says protective community. What if the cops showed up and they don't know who he is? Right? What if they don't know? They pull up, the first thing they're gonna think is drugs, mental illness. They're gonna take him from his environment. All he wanted to do was go to the store. He's a traumatic brain injury. So, but cognitively, he is aware, he knows what's going on. He just have memory lapse. So now they're gonna put him into the hospital. His family not gonna know who he is. His aides are not gonna know who he at. So imagine the crisis that he's in. What they're gonna do is give him medication, put him in a psych facility, may find him a week later. Look at all the trauma, the re-trauma he's experienced, and all because he forgot he's a traumatic brain injury. to put on clothes. So
Mhm.
say in the event he forget to put on my watch, because they already know who he is based on a database, based on them have observation of being able to see inside the watch, they
Mhm.
would know how to properly care for him.
Right. Now, do you see your work as a calling? And if
Absolutely.
so, I was going to say, if so, how does, that shape how you lead?
At that particular time in my life, I had was going through a divorce, a business closed. I didn't have anything. I lost everything. I lost my savings. So at that, I didn't even think about technology. I was really thinking about, my hardship. And then I woke up with this vision about Blackbird and creating this technology device. And I went in the room, I told my son, this is what I wanted to do. And my son always know that I'm always creating or doing something, but he didn't really, he's like, okay, mom. And
Mhm.
at that particular, I didn't even know anything about where was I going to get the engineers, understanding to writing the technology, understand how to get the manufacturer. I didn't know anything about that because that was not my area of specialization. But
Mhm.
I did. Once that happens, I mean, literally the vision. I didn't even have the money for the research and development, which was very expensive. At that particular time, it was like maybe like 50 something $1,000. I didn't even have $50 at the time in my bank account. But
Mhm.
life, once I realized I opened up my heart and my mind to receiving this calling and understand that I may not have the full picture, but I have to follow through,
Mhm.
everything start opening for me.
Mhm.
I was able to open a business. I was able to sell a business. The individual that I served, he decided to thank God that his community was able to see him. The police department knew who he was. The fact that he has a TBI, a traumatic brain injury, and he sustained this injury most recently. That's something that he has to get adjusted to. His family has to get adjusted to. So that's one of the reasons why I built this technology. Is for individuals like that. I know smart wearables are the future, whether it's through remote patient monitoring, do
Mhm.
assistive technology for children with disabilities, and that's our smart button, and our smartwatch, which some people are very, very, very attached to. So
Mhm.
that's why I created Blackbird, and I wanted to make sure that our smartwatch has a different feature. So that way, if the first responders come in, they don't think it's a regular smartwatch, even though we're training them as well, informing them. We
Mhm.
have our watches have a blue band with a red bird. So we're teaching the first responders always look for the blue band with the red bird.
Mhm.
That indicates it's a medical ID support smart wristband versus just an Apple Watch, and then they have to figure it out. So that is why I consider to say this is my calling, because we really intend to save lives one wrist at a time.
Okay. And how do you navigate between being a woman leading in both technology and healthcare spaces?
As a woman, especially as a Black woman, it's very challenging
Mhm.
because in this space that I'm in, especially in technology, is only like 3% women in technology. I
Mhm.
learned that by talking to so many people and also presenting Blackbird to so many people. I presented to doctors, almost 60 doctors in Hawaii, because I have a large interest out there, especially for my watch, especially in the islands where the technology is notification and the police department is, I want to say, is limited.
Mhm.
um, they look at me in disbelief until I start to talk about the technology, why I created it, my
Mhm.
devices. So then I make them a believer. So that's why I talk as much as I can. I scream it to the mountaintop so they can understand what Blackbird is. I am Blackbird and what my mission is to helping our most vulnerable individuals.
So how do you stay spiritually or mentally grounded while carrying such a heavy responsibility? Because you're doing so much.
Well, I just feel I have to see this mission through, whether I like it or not, whether I'm sick or not. I travel so much now. We're actually going to Ghana. We
Mhm.
have partners out there. We're bringing Blackbird Smart Innovation, Smart Wearable Technology to Ghana. How
Mhm.
amazing is that? You don't get an opportunity like that. So
Yes.
at this particular time, and Puerto Rico, which we get ready to announce, have
Wow.
strong interests out there. So I've never had this opportunity, never thought I would have this opportunity. And I travel so much sometimes. But I just figure, once you live in on purpose, with purpose, you could do anything.
Well, you said you felt like it was your calling. So if it was your
Absolutely.
calling and God had a calling for you, He gonna make provision and He gonna open doors for you. So that's what He's doing.
Absolutely. With
But
1,000%.
yes. So if someone had an idea, great idea, that they wanted to do, but they was afraid to start it, what would you say to them?
Believe in yourself. I know it sounds cliche, but
Mm-hmm.
it's true. Believe in yourself. I never thought like a couple of years ago when my life was falling apart. That's all I thought when my life was falling apart. It
Mm-hmm.
was a setup for something greater. And
Mm-hmm.
I had to go through that to understand greater. And now I understand. So believe in yourself, research, don't take the first opportunity. Don't operate on desperation. Have a lot of people that are interested and they, present dollar signs to me.
Mm-hmm.
No, they have to have the heart. They
Mm-hmm.
have to have the passion. I can see that in them without them even opening their mouth before I do business with them.
Mm-hmm. And what mark do you want to make in life?
I want to leave my children. I have 3 sons who part of my business. I
Mm-hmm.
want to leave them without the struggle that we experienced being a 16-year-old mother, 19, 2 kids by 19. We experienced a lot of hardship and struggle. I don't want that for them. I
Mm-hmm.
want them to be able to live life without having to deal with all of the things that I have to deal with.
Okay. And what do you feel is your greatest? What is one of your greatest accomplishments? Is this it?
I would say, yeah, getting my patent. It was very challenging to get a patent. You can't patent QR code. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to change the name of QR code, but I'm an actual patent pending inventor.
Mm-hmm. And what's your definition of success?
Being able to help others, being
Mm-hmm.
able to utilize all of what the gifts that God gave you, all of the knowledge and skills, and being able to actually change lives, impact lives, inspire people.
So, what are your plans for the future?
So, as I explained, we are getting ready for the launch of Ghana, which is going to be in June. We were just told that we're going to receive an award for innovative Africans and African Americans in November, which is amazing. So, and then we meeting finalizing our agreement with Puerto Rico. So we're going global. Our second phase in technology is we creating security systems so that way individuals do fall, the 911 is able to get in without having to wait to knock the door down. They're able to use their protective codes to come in, faster response, faster care, saving lives.
Okay, and where could someone go to read up on the Blackbird?
My website is blackbirdtech.app, and my social media is blackbird underscore smart underscore tech.
Well, this has been an awesome interview. I just want to thank Miss Fleming for coming on today, and I want to thank my viewers for tuning in. We encourage you to come back next week for another episode of the Keiwear Show. You can follow me on all social media platforms and on the internet. And always remember that Keiwear is the key to knowledge. God bless you all.
What's up, family? It's your radio angel, Dr. Liz Black, and you're watching the Keiwear Show.
Thank you. And please make sure no peanut oil. It's very important. How long will the delivery take?
Well, I'm on break now. I don't know, but I've been feeling a bit weird.
Did you know know that in the United States alone, an estimated 400,000 children go missing every year? Among them, autistic children who elope are at a higher risk of danger.
I was distracted for a second and he was gone. I'm so sorry.
Every year, countless individuals face life-threatening situations while home alone. Seizures and severe allergies are among the many perils that may arise. Giving medical professionals fast access to critical care information means quicker decisions, better treatment, and peace of mind when every second counts. Blackbird's smart wristband and the mobile app empowers vulnerable travelers to move freely, stay safe, and feel supported wherever they go.
Dad, I'm worried. I'm on my way there now. Voicemail box.
Every year, thousands of elderly individuals with dementia and disabilities go missing. In the United States alone, over 100,000 cases are reported annually.
You okay, sir? Great. You have one.
Introducing the Blackbird Smart Wristband.
What's your emergency?
A lady just fainted. She seemed to have suffered a seizure. The police are here. I have her emergency contact numbers. I'll call them and let them know.